Sir, side please. Emergency official business. Ma'am, side please. Side please. Thank you. Official business, sir. Ma'am, emergency. Please step aside, sir.
Hey, get lost. I'm waiting here, huh?
FBI, you might want to stay out of this, all right, sir? Excuse me, sir. Ma'am, please, back off. All right, I need 8 double tall.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. This is the Hot Toys Wizard. Brothers, cousins, sisters, aunts, uncles, girlfriends, boyfriends, fiancé's fiancé, whatever. And is it possible that I've got even juicier, better, more epic news than the actual Hot Toys Wizard? And what in the world is that? I can't stand every time I come in here and take over this cantina, something happens. Aries is not even back yet. Thank goodness. I don't know what this... How can there be another one? How do I control this here? Who's taking this over? I'm the Hot Toys Wizards. Uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, boyfriends, grandfather. And I don't... Listen, I don't understand. Who's taking over this machine?
He knows when people can't wait. He knows what's in the secondary market, so get prepared for goodness damn sake. And you better watch out. You better pre-order. You better keep an eye open and have some promo, because here him coming to town. Hammer Claus is coming to town. Hammer Claus is coming to town.
Well, listen, brother, and listen, sister. That's my distant cousin, the actual Hot Toys Wizard. Isn't Christmas in August? Let's go ahead and dive into all of this before Aries gets here right now. Welcome to another episode of the Market Value Chart Show right here at 6 Scale Cantina. And just in case you don't know just who I am the Dark Jedi, Aries Tarrington, and I'll be serving up all the Star Wars Hot Toys talk, all the Hot Toys talk right here at the Cantina. And man, I know I just had that show last night that was pretty darn epic. But you have to wonder, is it possible that I have some more crazy secondary market news? And I say, yes. Wow, it is getting a little bit nutty within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. I'm going to go ahead and dive right into that here today. Let me know what table that you're at, and I will do my best to fill you up as I get into this for sure. Listen, and I know a lot of you always tell me out there, Aries, you missed my comment. Just keep putting it in there. Maybe put it in, like if I miss it every 10 minutes and I'll get to it. You can always super chat it too, because that'll give me a flash. Just give you a couple of ways. I'm only an old guy setting the control at the heart of the sun. I try to get to all your comments. But listen, we're going to be tying this into, again, the whole thing about the Shanghai exclusives I went over last night. Is it possible that we're going to get those here in the States. I have some stuff on that, some thoughts on that anyway, and I will be getting into that here within this episode for sure. But man, oh man, it's a little bit crazy right now. Make sure you go ahead and hit the like button while you're in here. And if this is the first time that you're watching 6 Scale Cantina, you just may want to go ahead and subscribe to the channel for sure. But there is some interesting stuff going on within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. Now, right there, that is 6scalecantina.com. So I put a lot of work, and the wizard, the Hot Toys wizard, puts a lot of work into 6scalecantina.com. Hours and hours and hours, dozens of hours a week so I put in to this and into 6 Scale Cantina to give you all the trends, to give you all the updates, to connect all the dots on what could be possible. Only right here at 6 Scale Cantina. And of course, the Marvel market value chart is under construction. Wow. It's a hefty website. It's a lot of fun. All the latest news on the secondary market, of course. There's the banner. I added Dark Side Etiquette. If you saw the banner from earlier this morning, didn't have Dark Side Etiquette on it. Well, it sure as heck has him on there now. Here's the official 6 Scale Cantina coffee mug. And I love going ahead and being able to bring this information to you, this data to you. It is so many hours per week on updating this, on crunching the data, on updating the chart, updating the websites. I don't just like to come on and just talk about, oh, I think this is going on, even though it is just guesses and hypothesis on the data. It's still a lot of data crunching, nonetheless. And got some fun stuff in store for you today. It's not going to be as fun as how good this coffee smells. Or how about that Moff Gideon that I opened up live last night? Doesn't smell as good as that. This coffee is just as good, though, because it's 6 Scale Cantina coffee. And Moff Gideon always comes to the cantina for some coffee. As a matter of fact, a 6 Scale Cantina, it is a no fight zone. So even the Emperor, as I go ahead and fill up table 66, if anyone dares to sit there, has to at the cantina. He cannot fight with, Princess Leia. He can't fight with Rey. He can't fight with Grogu. Everybody's got to go here to cantina. So even though it's very dangerous. Which is why you got all these guys and gals sitting together. Sith and Jedi sitting together. Only at the 6 Scale. At the 6 Scale Cantina. Let's see who we got in here today. The 4 is in the house. What's up, Aries? I'll tell you what's up. Some interesting developments going on within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. And I talked about a little bit of this, a smidget of it, last night. But it certainly wasn't a long enough time for me to be able to dive into all of this, which I'm going to do here today. Just stopping in for a minute, packing up to go to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge tomorrow. Before, I normally play that clip, but listen, you're going to Galaxy. You deserve one of those, my friend. Good to have you in here. Jack Jones says, I think Hot Toys one of these days will show final product photos of Hunter. Oh, yeah. I've got that up on the banner. What about Ahsoka? What about the DX Ahsoka that you see up there in the banner? What about the Bo Katan? What about this Hunter and also Echo? Also Jack Jones. What about the chrome-plated Mandalorian with the Pedro Pascal head sculpt? What about the Mandalorian Luke Skywalker? What about Boba Fett and the throne? Is it possible that some of those could be coming even quicker then Bo Katan. What about the Blurrg? It's going to come real quick. It's going to get delayed. We're going to be getting into that. Slim Rummy with the do it. What is going on? I got to get some Mountain Dew in here, Slim Rummy. Good to have you in here, my friend. Hold my balls. Aries is starting to sound like a like a separatist. No. I just hold my balls. You're delicious, baby.
You're delicious. Ciao, boys.
Good to have hold my balls in here. Knight of Ren says, I'm sitting at a table with a certain scruffy-looking nerve herder. You don't say. You don't say, my friend.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerve herder.
It's another figure that's maintaining to be very, very hot. Knight of Ren. In the, I know you are. But listen, it's the Cantina. How come no one's been force lightning shot with the Emperor in here and you got Grogu? Because it's a zone. It's like one of those, it's like a neutral zone. Even the Emperor cannot fight Yoda inside the Cantina. Come on. Sean Smith is in the house. What's up? I am looking forward Boba Fett Black Chrome when it comes home. Man, let me tell you, I got some big news on that, Sean. And that's why I really want to have this show today. You see on the banner here, as I go ahead and blow it up just a little bit, I do have next to Ray the arena Fett Boba the arena Boba Fett, and it's a little bit crazy right now, my friend. And is it possible, to be quite honest with you, if this figure could get another run, another batch, especially because of the mess up by Sideshow? And this is going to be part of the conversation today. I touched on it a little bit last night. But you do have to wonder, is it possible that we could get another 500 or 1,000 of these to make up for the fiasco? And I do want to call it a fiasco. That was done. And it just was. And it doesn't mean that any company's bad or that type of thing. It may need to be fixed to do right by the customers, because this arena suit Boba Fett, which I have more information on here today, which is part of what I want to get into, is absolutely bonkers. Bonkers within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. Honestly, it shouldn't even be in the secondary market at this point. And the reason that it is, one of the reasons that it is because lower production numbers. Which, honestly, look, if you followed my channel, and listen, if this is the first time you're watching, go ahead and please hit the subscribe button. And please don't forget to go ahead and hit the like button while you're in here right now. As this fills up, as you come in, go ahead and hit the like button, because it makes it easier to go ahead and get the higher likes when the show starts getting rolling here. But honestly, lower production numbers is what I said Hot Toys was going to be doing off their manufacturing lines that they subcontract out. All last year I've been talking about it, ever since I started this channel, quite frankly, which was last year. And it's a little bit bonkers right now. But the other thing is this was first placed up for pre-order on Sideshow with wording that suggested that it was going to come out in 2023, which gave a lot of collectors like myself hope. I didn't get it. I did look at that. Luckily, someone in here, one of my insiders, is going to be hooking me up with one of those, and that's very nice. I tried to talk him out of it, because you can get just an amazing amount of money. But that person was just looking for the retail. I appreciate that. But that gave that number one in and of itself. So yeah, it's not going to come out till then. That's going to be up for a little bit. Well, that was a mistake. They have to fix that. That's number one. Okay. Number two, People were able to order 6 at a time. And this is Boba Fett, a highly sought after character and figure. And you're allowing 6 at a time to be purchased. And then you get sellers, which they have every right to do. And God bless them. Because hey, I get it. It's hurting around selling it now. It's going over $900. It's going to be hitting $1,000 very, very shortly. I'll show you the data, what's going on right now. And I don't even know if they selected it to 1. If they selected it at 2, that's not good as well. Should just be 1. 1. Especially, and nobody knows the exact quantity. Or I think Single Sword Rider was with that one. It was like 1,500 or something like that. 1,000 or whatever it is. And only, what was it, 300 in Hong Kong? Wow. Only allow 1 per customer. And Sideshow, here's the thing about this. And this is why I'm only 90 to 95% sure that this will never come again. Okay? But why do I have that 5 or 10% feeling that this could be put up again? I'll tell you why. Because it was a mess up. However, it wasn't Hot Toys that messed this up. Hot Toys will correct head sculpts. They'll do good by it. You saw what happened with Tony Stank. Case in point, Peacemaker. So many others. Hot Toys will go ahead and do right by their customers. However, this was Sideshow. So Hot Toys doesn't have to do anything. But you have to wonder, is it possible that Hot Toys may step in and may help Sideshow out and run another small batch of these just to make up with that for that mistake? And I say there's a 5 to 10% possibility. Why? Because sometimes when the name of Hot Toys has a not so favorable light shined upon it, i.e. the whole Toys Wonderland situation, which, in case you didn't know, they put out a press release in regards to that situation. Whether we agree with it or not, I'm not getting into it, just the fact that they answered the call. And I've told you before that I believe that they answered the call because of the strange notion that their figures are not selling, which is BS. Which is why Howard had to address it. Nonetheless, whenever his name is in jeopardy, sometimes they step in. So that's where you have to wonder if it's possible here with Sideshow, with this arena suit Boba Fett, if they would step in to satisfy collectors like me, satisfy collectors like you, that kind of got shafted on this in one way, shape, or form. And while I don't think so, and while I think this was just Sideshow muffing it up, I do think that there are some possibilities. And while we're going out, some of us, and it's totally fine because it happens all the time, buying this figure for $800, this Arita suit Boba Fett, $900 now. Soon, I believe it'll be over $1,000 for this figure, one Hot Toy figure. Boy, wouldn't that be a little bit like, ooh, God, I could have waited. That doesn't mean there's going to be a whole lot of them. Even if they go ahead and do this, it's still going to be very high. But if they wanted to influx it a little bit, that's why I hesitated, to be quite honest with you, in adding it. Not necessarily, I waited a little bit to the biggest mover section, but I waited a few weeks before adding it to the market value chart right here at 6scalecantina.com. Just in this very line of thinking. Right now it's in there and it's okay. If they go ahead and correct it, there's going to be a little asterisk, a little addendum that they went ahead and did that. But you do have to wonder, isn't it really, really interesting? And all from Sean Smith's little comment in here that I'm putting up. And gosh, go ahead and get to some of the comments that are in here. Single songwriter puts in here 3,000 worldwide total, which they didn't give the total on all of these from the summer showcase, but they did on this one item, which they typically don't do, but on this chrome plated, well, let's just call it the arena suit, Boba Fett. Looks like a stealth, looks like black chrome. It's awesome, whatever it is. Did you hit the like button yet, baby? Here's the coffee. Here's the official mug. You're watching 6 Scale Cantina. Let's go ahead and do that right now. That's not a whole lot. Jack Jones says, Aries, I can't wait to take photos of Han Solo figure with Chewbacca, Luke, and Leia. Ooh, baby. Yeah, I mean, Han Solo, Luke, and Leia. That's just, that's bad.
Oh, yeah? Watch this.
It's just magic. Just magic. The Clone Collector says the value is only high because not everyone has it in hands. When people start getting it, the value will tank. I don't think so, Clone Trooper. It's a good Clone Collector. It's a good point, but I don't think so. With only 3,000 made, I actually think it's going to go higher. I see your line of thinking, and we'll see if you're right. You may be right, but I'm going to go the other way. I don't think so. There's way more animated Boba Fett's than this. Way more vintage color Boba Fett's than this. Way more of some other figures like Han and Chewie. I think it's going to go higher, to be quite honest with you. I think when people get their hands on it, some of them are going to sell it to capitalize on this money. I think the real question is, Chloe, we'll keep an eye on it. I think the real question is, are they going to make more of these because of this fiasco? Single Songwriter says, Nanotech Boba Fett Arena suit. It's a good comic book story. Listen, Single Songwriter, I'm going to be honest with you. Any Boba Fett, nano suit, venomized Boba Fett with Grogu. We haven't had one of those yet. Boba Fett porcelain, Boba Fett bronze plated, Boba Fett grandma's wallpaper from the 1950s, Boba Fett Lando Calrissian's Bespin outfit, Boba Fett with Lando's outfit, Boba Fett with Darth Vader suit on. They could do any Boba Fett with the head of Indominus Rex from Jurassic World, Boba Fett with Raggedy Ann, Boba Fett with Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, Boba Fett with Casper, the friendly ghost, Boba Fett with Pennywise, Boba Fett with some coffee. Listen, the Boba Fett show was a dart hit. It really, really was. And it was very well received, regardless of... And it was very evident. That's why I heard some of the comments. It's, I'm giving it now 7 out of 10 and stuff like that. A lot of people. It's Boba Fett, baby.
I'm Boba Fett. I'm here to see the mayor.
Boba Fett. Do you have an appointment?
Yeah, there's a reason. I just gave you data that it was up 36% from the season finale of the Mandalorian season 2, which some people thought was actually pretty good with Luke coming back. You know, right? Some people thought that was okay seeing Luke in there, right? That was okay, and it was okay seeing Luke. That's pretty trendy. I only give you the facts because, you know, is this what they call it?
They call him the Wizard.
Lane Kramer's in the house, another Cantina insider. He's saying, loving your stream, Aries. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Lane. I always do appreciate your support, my friend. Looking forward to getting you back on here with the panel. Posing up my Hot Toys Taskmaster today. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool. Man, I know you don't do Marvel. I love Marvel, though. I go to all the cinemas for most of them anyway, especially the big ones like Spider-Man No Way Home. Obviously, go to the movies, Doctor Strange, the Avengers, those types. And most people are passing. Well, to waiting till sale price, but this figure is so well made. Yeah. Marvel's a different story right now in the secondary market, especially as I'm diving into it here and creating the Marvel market value chart. But I brought this up last night, Lane. This is not the end game for Marvel figures within the secondary market. They're just going through a reboot. And honestly, when they stopped and they did Endgame, it was one of the best movies of all time. Both Infinity War and Endgame, not just box office wise, just reality wise. It's great movies. You call something Endgame, it's the end. You kind of rebuilding. You got some new characters, but make no mistake about it. Just like Tobey Maguire came back, and just like the Green Goblin came back, what's that? William Dafoe. You'd think some of these actors would never come back in, just like Robert Downey Jr. Never a chance he'll show up again. Really? I don't know about that. I don't know. Who's the one that plays the other character at the Guardians of the Galaxy? She also plays Uhura on the new Star Trek, the reimagined one with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto. The name's just leaving me. She'll never be back, really? No, Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield would never be back? And as one thing gets hot, people go off. They sell, they get into other stuff. I actually see a lot of these Marvel figures moving up in the secondary market in the years to come. You have to remember who owns Marvel, okay? Disney. And Disney's very, very, very smart. And everything that's happened before, in many ways, is going to happen again. I know a lot of you Ronald D. Moore fans and fans of the new reimagined Battlestar Galactica. Boy, I can't wait for that. The new reimagined one, the third one to come out on Peacock. Can't wait for that. And they're working on a movie too, but I'm more interested in the series. And honestly, if I collected Marvel figures, I wouldn't be selling them because I wouldn't be collecting them for that, because I really could care less if some of them went down half in price or not. Doesn't really matter because I collect these for this. As long as I could get a good portion of the money back, who cares? That's why I get into it for. I talked about that yesterday. I don't want to digress into that. But good stuff there, Lane. Thule goes Boba and Wong 2-pack. How about Boba Fett? And how about a Howard Chan and George Lucas 2-pack? Copper says it will continue to rise after released. That's what I think. Again, I think Clone Collector brought up a good point. I just don't think that way, but it could go that way because I've seen it go that way. So we'll have to see. Don't think a second issue will come anytime soon. I think you're right, but I'm just saying there is a possibility because of this fiasco. But then again, the Black Panther reissue was out this week, so who knows? I know. I know. Jack Jones, Aries, like you said yesterday, that 2.0 versions of main characters from original trilogy figures, like Alec Guinness from Obi-Wan, like you're talking about that one. Well, listen, my friends, and as I dive into some of this crazy news, and I got some breaking news on some of these figures that I want to bring up. We're starting off with the arena suit Boba Fett, that whole fiasco there on people that were trying to get it, can't get it. Where's it at right now in the secondary market? I got some information on that, even more than last night, plus way bigger news than that, than on that figure. But anyway, not to digress, but this, Metamorphic Customs. I'm going to give a shout out to Desi. A lot of you know Desi, Metamorphic Customs. I bought one of his diorama figures. He does a great job. Does great base toppers. Does diorama. He's a great artist. Has a great channel. Make sure you subscribe to him. But he brought up a great point about that RoboCop. About, hey, that license may in fact be coming up on the tail end. Let's go ahead and put out the 2.0 of this before it runs out. And I think we all know in here, with the 50th anniversary in 2027 of A New Hope for Star Wars, last time I checked, A New Hope for Star Wars, the first Star Wars movie, was a pretty epic film.
Hello.
And we're going to get 2.0 head sculpts for everything with that, because it's going to be that same amount of time that passed from the DX07 to the DX25. What's the DX07 areas? What's the DX25? I'm talking about Luke Bespin, the original, and then the new Luke Bespin that is on pre-order right now. They weren't going to put out the same one from DX07, just too outdated. And as good as that Alec Guinness head sculpt is, as good as the Peter Cushing head sculpt is, and as pretty darn epic the Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford head sculpts are, and I think that the Luke is pretty darn good for a farm boy Luke, they're going to be outdated by 2027. So just like the DX07, moving to DX25, all of those figures are going to get upgrades. However, what about the current license on the current molds that they have right now? They're not going to go ahead and reuse those? And listen, you have to put aside your feelings on this. Well, I personally wouldn't want it. That's not what this is about. Personally, is it going to happen? Marketing-wise, trend-wise, business-wise. That's how you should go about all of this, because that's typically what's going to happen. Many of these companies don't react on feelings. And if they did, they'd be, quite frankly, out of business. Because business is business. Loving the coffee here this morning. I say with some of them, they're going to go ahead and do some reuses of those molds, paint job upgrades, 2.0s. Certainly, I think that's going to happen with the Bespin Han. I think that's going to happen with an Endor Han. I think a Hoth Han is coming. I think you're going to get all of that before 2027, to be quite honest with you. And I understand. I totally get it. I totally get it. Listen. We've been waiting for Bespin Han for so long. We actually were waiting for the Bespin Luke that was teased longer than the Bespin Han. It came out April 13th of this year. But the only reason you've been waiting for the Han, the only reason you've been waiting for Han Solo, there's only one reason. Nothing to do with license. Nothing to do with Harrison Ford. Nothing to do with Howard Chan being mad at him or that or this and that. Business is business. It has to do with this as I fill up table of
Fulfill your destiny.
And the reason you're seeing Skeletor loosen his grip in the depths of Hades is because the controversy of The Last Jedi is behind us. There will never be a Star Wars movie again that doesn't even break 300 million domestically like the Solo movie. It'll never happen again. It was an anomaly. It was a very, very rough time. And that, my friends, is the reason why you did not get Bespin Han. Remember, they used it in the, those photos for Leia. And you can't play around with Disney just putting likeness of characters that you don't got license for or you don't got to go ahead to put together. You can't. Some people may think that they can. That is an absolute falsity. You absolutely cannot toy around like that. You can only tease. You can only suggest what has already been approved, which is why you will get the Bespin Han and why you will get the Mace Windu that they teased with the 20th anniversary announcement photos with the battle droid. Make no mistake about it. Let's go ahead and fill up table 2 again.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another.
Good to have you all in here today. Make sure you be hitting that like button as I get into all of this. Great comment there, Jack Jones. For those that are coming in, you are watching the Market Chart Show live. I've got some interesting secondary market news. I also have some analysis on the supposed Shanghai exclusives. Will they be coming to Europe? Will they be coming to the U.S.? I touched on it last night. But first, we're talking about this fiasco, which is the arena suit Boba Fett. And of course, getting some comments in here when I'm diverting off to address them as well, which is always my pleasure. They allowed you to order 6 at a time. That's a no-no. Sure, they canceled some of those. They canceled it. Hopefully they caught them all. They also, in the very beginning, had it on there that this was not going to ship until next year, which really gives a suggestion that you can take your foot off the gas, which is what I did, missed out on it. Everything changed. Okay. This is not a Hot Toys problem, it's a Sideshow problem. But as I pointed out earlier, Hot Toys does jump into stuff where their name is getting entangled with it. So that's my reservation that this could come again. Do I think it will? No. Would I be shocked, though, if they gave you another batch of 1,000? Not really. Continuing to go down some of these comments. Boy, that was weird. That was not a Hot Toys Wizard interruption. That was the Dark Jedi with his mouse going crazy. Let me get my screen back up over here for y'all. Sorry about that. As I told you, I'm just an old guy who sets the controls at the heart of the sun. Where were we? Oh, yeah, trying to go down the comments. Jack Jones is still up over there. I got so many. And Sean Smith says, Lane Kramer, nice. It looks amazing. I look forward to seeing it there, Lane. Single Songwriter goes, it will be higher than Han Solo Stormtrooper disguise, and that was a rare item back then and even hard to find in the USA market. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sean Smith asks, to Aries, do you think Sideshow will do it now because they don't want dead stock? They changed the way they selling thing like Boba Fett was test run. I don't think it was a test run. I'll be completely honest with you, Sean. And I've been talking about this for months. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm right. I just seen this happen before in business and manufacturing and distribution before, where when you have volatile times such as this, and this is a real volatile time economically, and we're still dealing with COVID-19, obviously. It's just, we're still dealing with it. It's a volatile time. And I can tell you right now, I had another family member, one of my family members who passed away this week was all complicated from COVID. Just saying. Okay. Coffee. People and things are changing. Businesses are changing. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It will never, ever go back exactly the way it was pre-COVID. Just can't. I don't think Boba Fett arena suit was a test. I think it was a reality. They made way more of the armor, and it's still in stock. And I don't care if it's Darth Vader, Boba Fett, any of the figures. They're just, what they're committed to now is reusing the molds, which they've always been doing, by the way, anyway, whether they straight out reissue it, whether they 2.0 it, or whether they 2.0-ish it by reusing the head sculpt, putting on some different color cloths and some different boots or shoes, which makes it look like another figure, but it's really the same darn figure, even though it's a different figure, perhaps from a different movie or a different costume in the movie. It's still a 2.0, which they've done with Leia 1, 2, 3 times already before COVID. Okay? So this isn't brand new. I've been telling you for months and months and months that they're going to be producing these figures at lower production volumes. So the party, which in great part is because Sideshow is getting the figures earlier than Toys Wonderland and so many of those other sellers, which is really the main reason why some of the figures are still in stock, because the timing's all jacked up. But the other part of that is they're just not going to hold these figures in their warehouses. So the production was going to come down, not just for exclusives. Exclusives, doesn't matter. Every figure, whether it's an exclusive or not, is now on the table to have lower production numbers. Because that is the smart business move to do. That is a smart business move to make. That is the smart production move to make. That is the smart move for Sideshow to make. This is the adjustment Sideshow will make. This is the adjustment Sideshow is making. There's no test. And remember, I told you, and some people thought I was crazy. And I get it, because it sounded crazy. Aries, there's no way we're going to get even one figure that's going to go on waitlist before it ever gets in stock in this year. Well, already you've had not only one, but you've had 2. And you can't say, well, yeah, Aries, but that was an exclusive. Okay, well, we had exclusives last year too. They're in stock. They never went on waitlist. It's just a figure. Either goes on waitlist before it gets in stock or it doesn't. You've already had 2. And the reason you had 2 has nothing to do with exclusives. It has to do with they're doing lower production numbers. They'll never tell you how many of that Rey and Dio they made, and they don't have to. They may have made less of her than they did, like single songwriters say, the 3,000 total of the Arena suit Boba Fett. They just may have. They don't got to tell you. You'll never know. And they're not going to tell you. But they're going to do this, I believe, my friend, on a lot of the figures anyway. But then how do you make money on the R&D investment? Well, first of all, they've already made money on the mold for the Arena suit Boba Fett that we're talking about. What do you mean? That is the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett from Hot Toys, which you had a deluxe and non-deluxe version of first. Then they went ahead and they reissued that figure, the deluxe one, in the 40th anniversary packaging for the Empire Strikes Back. So they reused that mold again. Then they reused that mold again. Okay? 2.0, reissue, whatever you want to call it, in the same 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back packaging with the vintage color Boba Fett. So now that initial R&D investment that you made on that mold and everything you had to do with that, you've just capitalized on it 4 times. 4 times. Then, Sean, with this Arena suit Boba Fett, that's 5 times. And you could go ahead and take a look at the Return of the Jedi mold that they made for Boba Fett. And they have the one with the Sarlacc pit that originally came out, and they got the non-deluxe version that came out. And they used that same mold for the animated Boba Fett. And you know they're going to use that mold again for the upcoming 40th anniversary for a movie called Return of the Jedi, which is next year. And we were talking about Boba Fett's earlier in the program, whether it is the white prototype Boba Fett that's an amazing figure. You could get the Sideshow version in the secondary market, although it's very, very, very high. But there's not a doubt that Hot Toys is going to come out with that. And we were joking around before. A porcelain version of Boba Fett. Like they did a bronze, a copper, chrome-plated version of Boba Fett. A different black stealth chrome Boba Fett. Boba Fett with your grandmother's wallpaper. Boba Fett with Sebulba. Boba Fett with Grogu. Boba Fett with Groot. Boba Fett with Judy Garland. Boba Fett with Mickey Mouse. Anything will sell. Using those molds over and over and over and over again. So it doesn't matter if they make a run of 3,000. Who cares? They're making money off it. Which is why you're going to eventually get the Dark Side Rey, because they already have the mold for it. And even if they only make 3,000 of her, they make money off it. Why wouldn't they put out with it? Single Songwriter puts in here, Howard Chan's favorite Marvel character since he was a child, Spider-Man. The more we know. And I believe his favorite Star Wars character is Boba Fett. Don't quote me on that, though. Sean Smith asks, Aries, do you think Boba Fett Black Chrome will be the first to hit 1,500 in the market? I hope not. And I don't think it'll go that high. But I'm going to be getting into where it is right now, and we'll go back to that question. Good for Health says Filoni and Favreau 2-pack. Come on. Insane ones in the house. Zoe Saldana. Come on. The Clone Collector says they can't reissue Toy Fair exclusives unless they do a 2-pack. So how about Arena Fett and Prototype Boba Fett 2-pack? As long as they make some differences on it and don't exactly make it the same, they can do that. They have to keep away from the Toy Fair exclusives. Exactly. It's like Clone Collector. If they're going to come out with that Dark Side Anakin again, it has to not include the base. It has to have a difference. It has to come in like, if it came in the forthcoming Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary packaging, they can definitely do that because that's not the same one. Charlie the Unicorn, Prototype Boba Fett and Arena Boba Fett 2-pack, $700 will sell out. Oh, gosh. Tell me about it. AJ, what is up to you? Good to have you in here. Valiant Archer says, a little late. How's everyone doing? I'm doing great. How are you, my friend? The Clone Collector says 2.0. The whole Return of the Jedi line for the anniversary next year. That would be awesome if they were able to do that. Charlie the Unicorn says, Aries, it's all about the fat sacks of cash. Money is delicious, dude. Money, money is delicious. I will say that. It really, really is.
You're delicious.
Ciao, boys.
Single Songwriter goes, timing is everything when it comes to how Hot Toys maximizes its profits on figures. Example, Legacy Black Panther. Yeah, the T'Challa figure. This was talked about yesterday. Just before Wakanda Forever. Business Marketing 101. Very well said. Cannot argue with that. Broderick Holmes says, Aries, I want a latte, please.
Of course I want a latte. I love the way you make them.
I thank you so much for that. Do appreciate that. Charlie the Unicorn. Yeah, he did get shafted. That movie did get shafted. If Kiera shows up, coffee spilled. Oh, they absolutely put out Emilia Clarke. Come on. I got to have one of those. Is it possible? I haven't had that in months, I feel like. Jack Jones asks, the Dark Jedi, as we're talking, and listen, everybody who's in here, we got 60 in here now. Please go ahead and smash that like button. I do appreciate your support. Let me know what table you're at, and I do appreciate that. And if this is the first time you're watching 6-Scale Cantina, please go ahead and subscribe. Do appreciate that for sure. You could also follow me on my social media platforms If you follow me on Instagram, you would have saw a couple of the posts telling you I was coming out with the show today. Link to the Instagram is in the video description below. If you follow me on Facebook, we got like 900 now. Let's get to 1,000 members on the Facebook page. We have a lot of fun on there. Talk about a lot of hot toys, a lot about Star Wars, a lot about what's going on in the channel, a lot of stuff on the, going on in the market. I got the link to the Facebook group within the video description below as well. But Jack Jones says, Aries, can you give us your opinion on why Hot Toys has shown prototype of figures like C-3PO, but never released one original trilogy one? Will look good with R2-D2. Well, listen, baby. Just like Jack, they actually released the C-3PO that we got, which was the one from the Attack of the Clones, was the very first C-3PO Hot Toys ever teased. Let me get that out of the way first. Some people think it's the one with the red arm from The Force Awakens. That's not it. It's the other one. However, just like you're getting so many different variations of Boba Fett, so many different variations of the Mandalorian, so many different variations of Princess Leia, and now Luke, as you could say, with the same molds and the same head sculpt, so on and so forth. Is it possible, just like with the KX Enforcer droid coming on top of the K2SO, that you're going to have multiple versions of C-3PO? And I say, yes. The C-3PO you're going to get next is 1,000% going to be a C-3PO from a particular movie that has a 40th anniversary where they thought he was some type of a god.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
And I've got a really good feeling about a Return of the Jedi C-3PO, Jack, next year. Charlie Unicorn goes, Ares, damn, got launched in space. I don't know, but you're probably right. I'm not going to argue with you, baby. Single Songwriter goes, the wizard, just the hyperdrive button. Come on. OG fan, come on, baby. We're talking about the Arena suit, Boba Fett. And I filled you up earlier. Good to have you in here, my friend. It's crazy in the secondary market. Cheers to you for sure. What surprises me is the wait list is still open. I know, Clone Collector. It is a little surprising, isn't it? And how many of those collectors, and some collectors bought multiples, maybe bought all 6, which could be a big reason for that. But it's very interesting, isn't it? Like I said, I feel like there's a 5 or 10% chance that something can happen with it, which is going to make what I'm showing you here in the secondary market and that much more ludicrous. Single Songwriter goes, Sideshow is a North American distributor. That includes USA, Canada, and Mexico. They always order more than expected to cover the returns and defects that may arise. Exactly. And what they're doing now with that safety stock, and they call that safety stock, is they have drastically reduced their safety stock on the non-exclusive orders by, I believe, more than half in many, many cases. Because, again, as I pointed out, there's only so many figures that Sideshow can keep in stock, loaded on their backs, until they fold over and break their back and wind up deep, deep, deep in the red rather than the black in that, which equates to ordering less, which makes Hot Toys produce less, but reuse the molds for other figures. This is the way of things, and this is what's going to happen. Insane when it goes, Skynet has been enabled. Leave a like and subscribe to the Dark Jedi. I do appreciate that. Padme. Cough. Padme. Natalie Portman.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
Well, you already got Mighty Thor. You have to wonder how long until we get the Natalie Portman for Padme Amidala. And I have a strange hunch that is going to be coming in one of the next waves for Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary.
They call him the Wizard.
Put me down for a wallpaper edition Boba Fett. Listen, if they did put out a wallpaper edition Boba Fett, they would have zero problem selling 3,000 of them. Just like they had zero problems having a 36% higher viewership rating on the conclusion of the Book of Boba Fett, because it's Boba Fett. He will always be Boba Fett. Boba Fett is the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. And for many of us collectors, we must get all Boba Fetts, including the Boba Fett Grandma's wallpaper version, probably coming soon in some capacity, to a pre-order near you. Collector Chris says, hello, Aries. Well, hello to you. Good to have you in here, my friend. Mark Attack says, I would die of excitement if they made a 6-scale Bantha. Listen, I want to get into more of this Arena Boba Fett. Let me blow up the screen over here. Charlie the Unicorn says that a final episode was bonkers. It was. Let me blow this up. Again, this is 6-scale Cantina. And again, if you don't have 6scalecantina.com bookmarked, you just may want to consider doing so. All your latest news on the secondary market, as I mentioned earlier. All your latest news on the channel, like this banner right here. If you had it bookmarked, you would have known. Besides subscribing, you get an alert, and you would know I'm going live. But right here on the website, too, you can go on the website, and you can see right here. And you can see right there, Hot Toys Market Talk, the Market Chart Show. You see Ahsoka on the cover there with Grogu, the DX. You see Bo Katan. What's going on with that? Dark Side Anakin. Han Solo. Both of the chrome-plated Stormtroopers there, the Clone Trooper and the Stormtrooper. The Arena Suit Boba Fett, Rey. We got so much to discuss going on over here. Let's go to the biggest mover section here at 6scalecantina.com. And the biggest movers section, Dark Side Anakin still the #1 figure trending up. And is it really possible that Dark Side Anakin is trending up even more than this Boba Fett Arena suit that we're talking about? And I say that's the next item we're going to get into. Right now we're talking about Boba Fett, the Arena suit. So let's go ahead and pull up one that's going on right now here. And you can see with 2 days left, goodness gracious me. And, and because the actual picture of the item is being shown, this is an actual item already out, Hot Toys exclusive. It looks sweet, doesn't it? Ooh, baby, that looks sweet. Let's put up another picture. Look at that picture of the actual item. There's the back of it. The comic version. You see the little comic logo there if you look closely enough. Not just these pictures here. Coming soon. Buy my pre-order. Blah, blah, blah. This is the actual item that the person is selling of this Arena suit Boba Fett. With 2 days and 6 hours left. $638. Digest that for a minute. $638. 29 bids. 29 bids, not including the $35 in shipping. So when you add tax, already over $700, you know where this is going to wind up going. Okay. And it has a bazillion watchers, and for some reason it's not showing up on here, but it was something that, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever it is. It's a ton. And not showing up on my screen, and I don't want my screen to mess up again. But you get the idea. $638 for an Arena suit Boba Fett that Sideshow messed up by saying it was going to come out in 2023. Not on purpose, all innocent. It just had happened. That was also messed up by allowing collectors to order 6 at a time. Not on purpose, just an oversight. It happens. Happens everywhere. I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I don't want to get on it for that. It was just a fiasco. But my question is, with these kind of prices already and those type of errors, is Howard Chan aware of this? Let me ask it again. Is Howard Claus, not Santa Claus, Howard Claus, aware of this? And is it possible, whether it's peculiar that the wait list is still open, which it is, and someone mentioned it in there, and I think it was Clone Collector. I'm just saying, this is a heck of a lot of money for a figure that just came out. This isn't the Han Solo from A New Hope, whether it's the regular one or the 2-pack with Chewbacca, nor is it the Han Solo with Stormtrooper disguise. But yet this figure is selling more than Han Solo with the Stormtrooper disguise at $800, $900 now. And it's a little bit crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And as I'm talking through this, I do appreciate your support by hitting the like button, because we do need Howard to see this, because I would like to see Howard do something about it. And I don't have a problem with it, because I feel like it needs, if not fixed, addressed in some capacity. But, wow. And really, the whole story behind this figure is only going to make it that much more sought after. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. There's a story behind this where people thought it was going to come out in 2023 and it didn't. There's a story behind this where people were able to get 6 at the first time and then didn't. And then there's some people that don't watch all of these channels that are not even aware it comes off of wait list and goes back on and comes off and comes on and comes off and comes on, which doesn't necessarily give everybody who doesn't watch YouTube, which is about 95% or more of the people who collect Hot Toys, an opportunity to get this figure. I'm just keeping it real for you. But yeah, you're seeing these prices over here, even on the auctions. Forget about the straight sales. And there's just some possibilities here. I'm not saying it's going to be. Again, I've told you, like I said, 90% sure it's probably not. This is it. There's just 10% of me, 5 to 10% that feels Hot Toys may jump in and may do something here. And certainly if I was going to buy this figure, I'm just going to be honest with you. If I was going to buy this figure at this kind of money, I would wait until this 10% chance that I feel in my heart would go away. Because it's already selling for $800, $900 anyway. So what's the difference if I wait a few more weeks or a month? It's still going to be the same price. If it goes a couple hundred more, when you spend $1,000, you might as well spend $1,200. If you're spending $1,200 on a Hot and Chewbacca 2-pack, because that's what you feel like it's worth, then you have no problem spending $1,300 or $1,400, right? So my point is, why not wait? Because it's already beyond the Han Solo with the Stormtrooper disguise, the Luke with the Stormtrooper disguise. This is more than freaking Leia Organa from A New Hope. It's more than Obi-Wan Kenobi from A New Hope. It's even more than Moff Tarkin, which I got some news on, which is going up. It is insanity. Aries loved this story. Boba Fett, he was named Jango Fett. It's all awesome. Oh, yeah, the whole story of Boba Fett. Single Songwriter goes, it was a major debacle. It really, really was. It was definitely a, it was crazy. I mean, some people were screaming. Some people were shouting. saying, I thought this Boba Fett was mine!
Mine!
I guess it ain't now. Papa Kirkmos, good to have you in here. Any chance for a venomized Luke? I don't know. Is this what they call you, Papas?
They call him the Wizard.
Fun stuff. Very, very, very fun stuff. Commander Crook, friend of TK FOMO, who's obviously recovered. If you watched the beginning of the show today and yesterday, good to have you in here, Commander Crook. Come on. And look at some of these comments in here as we go through. OG fan says, Aries preaching at the Church of Fett. Amen, brother. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Single Songwriter goes, love that clip. Mark Attack goes, Aries, you have clips for everything. Yeah, I try. But look, I mean, this is a little insane. And going outside the actual auctions that are going on for this arena suit Boba Fett, I mean, $900 now. Already 5 sold. Toys for adults. And I think, what was it selling for? Like $850, $860, and now the price is $900. It's going to keep going up on these sellers like this. Already at $900. It's only going to be before long before this goes to $1,000 or goes over. And this figure didn't even get a chance to for anybody to even even find out that it came out because it was an exclusive. So I mean, and I don't need to bring up all the many auctions I've been putting up for you the past month on this selling for around $850 time after time after time after time. And the only thing I caution when people are doing this, it's your money. You could do what you want. I would never spend this. I'd be sad about it that I didn't get an opportunity to have it. I would look to hunt to see if I could get a deal on it, but I would never spend this, especially since I have a little bit of a sense that there is a possibility that maybe Hot Toys steps in on this one. Like Single Songwriter said in there, this was a complete and utter debacle. For sure. Going back to the biggest mover section here at 6scalecantina.com. And we're going to get into what people ask me all the time. Aries, what about the chrome plated clone trooper with the 2 helmets? And Aries, how is that going to correlate with the chrome-plated Stormtrooper that may or may not come to the United States, that may or may not be available in Europe? And I have some more. I'm going to expand on that. I talked about it a little bit last night. But first, let's go back to the biggest mover section, because there actually is indeed a figure. It is possible that there is a figure that is even trending higher than the arena suit Boba Fett. And you could look at the biggest mover section and still Dark Side Anakin is the #1 biggest mover this week. And as I fill up table 77, I caution you to not underestimate Dark Side Anakin in the secondary market.
You underestimate my power!
I'll bring you some stuff that I wanted to show you about Dark Side Anakin. Let's bring it up on the screen. Great seller, over 810 feedback. all 100% positive. $1,600 sold. Wow. Not included $20 in shipping, not including taxes. $1,750, near $1,800 for a dark side Anakin. Today, not yesterday, but to go ahead and honor the Beatles yesterday. Oh, my pre-orders seem so far away. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Hey, Howard, when are you going to come out with this 2.0? Because there are people that are spending buku bucks. Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Pre-order and sell. Pre-order and sell. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on now, baby. Now, come on, baby. Just from today, $1,700. Another great seller. Over 700. All 100% positive. Feedback. Not including the $34.95 with adult signature required in shipping. Not including taxes. I always feel like somebody's pre-ordering me. Oh, whoa. When I'm in the shower, I'm afraid to wash my hair. I might open my eyes and see a pre-order standing there. Anyway, having too much fun. Yeah, brand new. Mind you, it's brand new. Brand new. Straight out, no best offer. Just give me, I'll pay $1,700. $1,700 for this figure. Brand new. Dark Side Anakin. Wow.
You underestimate my power.
Single songwriter says, with least expected, Hot Toys always drops the hammer. Commander Crook goes, I would like to hear someone try to convince themselves that they got a good deal when opening the Dark Side Anakin. Hey, dude, there are some people who have money, have buku bucks, like Pizza the Hut, who just they'll pay whatever it takes, because he'll just set out the bounty. Pizza the Hut will send out for Dark Side Anakin $1,700, $3,700, $27,000, $27 million to Pizza the Hut. It's delicious.
You're delicious.
Cowboys.
Good. This figure is now twice the price.
I've been looking forward to this.
3 times the price. 4 times the price. 5 times. How many times the price? God. It is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Commander Crook is Mark Attack says, imagine dropping $1,700 on this and the next day a 2.0 is announced. I mean,
this is where the fun begins.
It's a lot of money. When they least expect it, Hot Toys will drop this. I don't know, Songwriter. I feel like that they're single Songwriter goes, wow, 1600. I could buy a USA made Fender Stratocaster for that. You could buy a Gibson. You could buy 1700 Zeesh, Charlie the Unicorn, Spills Coffee. Yeah, I know. In the crazy way. I have to try that, really, since I'm probably going to be able to get my hands on this, which will be great. Look, it's a little insane right now with what people are willing to spend on this dark side Anakin and on this particular figure, for sure. And people were asking me, was this going to go up or down after the after the Obi-Wan series ended? And quite honestly, I want to dive into more analysis on this because I'm going to be doing an Insiders exclusive that focuses specifically just on this Anakin, the regular Anakin, and the Clone Wars Anakin, and the Anakins to come. And while I already went ahead on Insiders and opened up my deluxe cheer it, so that way I'm able to answer questions on the chat, we talk about Anakin, Fabio will still be a special guest on my Insider show to open up and show his Anakin with the staff. But I'll be able to be right here like this and really breaking down these Anakins as we pause once in a while to take a look at some of those things. But I really do have some expanded analysis and some heightened thoughts on this particular thing. But make no mistake about it. It's a little bit crazy right now, but you have to wonder how long until Hot Toys drops the hammer, as single songwriter says, and puts out some type of 2.0 reissue on the Dark Side Anakin. We've talked about it before, so it's no surprise here. There's no heightened analysis or really expanded thoughts here, but you can put it in your comments with me saying that Dark Side Anakin showed up in the Obi-Wan series. He did. We've been talking about this last couple of weeks. He showed up in the Obi-Wan series right here. You see that, right? That's the vision that the third sister had, that Reva had. And again, he didn't have the red glowing eyes, but he was still Dark Side Anakin. Which Dark Side Anakin is still Darth Vader. And even though, and this was after the scene in Revenge of the Sith, where he had red glowing eyes. And even though he didn't have red glowing eyes in this scene, in Revenge of the Sith, after the yellow glowing eyes,
you underestimate my power.
That was still and is Dark Side Anakin, aka Lord Vader himself. So you have to wonder, is it possible that from the Obi-Wan series, we get the third sister's vision of Anakin Skywalker? And then, as also seen in Revenge of the Sith, get another head sculpt of the Dark Side Anakin that has the yellow glowing eyes. And I say, yes, it is possible. And they can vice versa it and come out of nowhere and give you a Revenge of the Sith version and say, as also seen from the Obi-Wan series. But here's something that we haven't talked about a whole lot when it comes into just this Dark Side Anakin, to be completely honest with you. And that's the fact that it doesn't have to be the same exact, the hair could be slightly different. Remember, the Clone Wars Anakin, which is the same head sculpt as this, as the Dark Side Anakin we're talking about, which is the same head sculpt as a regular Anakin. Change the hair a little bit. Hair was a little bit different. A little bit different in this scene.
You underestimate my power.
It's a little bit more wild. Could have a kind of a different wave. Kind of a different wave, couldn't it? So there's multiple ways that they could 2.0 this dark side Anakin. And someone mentioned earlier, you can't just go ahead and reissue an exclusive. And I agree with that from a sentiment standpoint, although they really can legally, as long as they just say it's from a different, there's so many legal words that they put in, they can. And I talked about that yesterday. And if they come out with an alternate version with yellow selling eyes that has a different head sculpt or a different hair sculpt than the dark side Anakin, there's no telling just how high the dark side Anakin, the OG one, the original Toy Fair exclusive one, that's obviously a very big mover right now within the secondary market. There's no telling if it will come down or if it will rise, my friend. If it will rise, there's no telling. And I say there's a huge possibility that it will rise as I fill up table 66 again. Good. There's so many ways that Howard Chan, Howard Kloss can capture this. And I mean that with the utmost joy. I love what Howard is giving us. I love what Hot Toys is giving us. I love it that I'm able to get a DX25. I love it that I'm able to get all these Attack of the Clothes figures. I'm going to love it when that Mace Windu comes out. And I love it with figures I'm not getting, like the Stormtroopers that don't have a head sculpt, minus that Dark Trooper, because that's really not a trooper. That's really a robot. And I'm going to get the droids. Can't wait to get that freaking thing. Because I don't get every one of them. So bring it to me. The Dark Jedi's been very good this year. Go ahead. Get me the Bespin Han. I need to pre-order it. Come on. Got to fill up Grogu. That was for table 5 with Popsic and table 88 for the 808 Michigan Jedi, whether they are here or not. Mark Attack. Anakin is the only character I plan on buying all the variants. I sure as heck hope you got the the dark side one, baby. I sure as hell hope you got that, Mark Attack. Please tell me you do, because it's so high. I don't got the Peter Cushing, the Alec Guinness sculpt yet, to be completely honest with you. And I'm going to have to wait for the Rogue One version, a Bad Batch version, a Clone Wars animated version, perhaps an Andor series version, so on and so forth. Because if you try to get hopefully you have it, because to try and get that right now, it's hard. But I get it. I've been collecting for decades, so I know you go after that Grail. It's kind of a Grail right now, but they're going to do something with it. Gosh, so many comments in here. I'm trying to get to them all as I'm scrolling. Dark Jedi only collects head sculpted figures and droids for Hot Toys. Yes, because I got a budget, baby. So even though I have my own channel, and even though we spill a lot of coffee over here, and I spill coffee on everything, I don't just budget by Marvel and that type of stuff. Even though I love it, I can't get every figure. They're very expensive. So you have parameters down. Do I have Stormtroopers in other 6 scale and above? Yes, just not Hot Toys. Otherwise, my friend, to be quite honest with you, Charlie the Unicorn, it would just be. It would be too many of them as I fill up a table Oblivion.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
I know you love me that I have the control set to the heart of the sun. OG fan, Grogu. I know the Grogu signs love him. Knight of Ren's in the house. Target is great. Peter Cushing likeness is Ted. Knight of Ren, always a pleasure. LOL. Where's this Mark Attack coming on top of that? I didn't mean each figure, but each appearance, basically something to represent Anakin in his Jedi Knight appearance. Don't have Episode 3 Anakin. We'll wait for a 2.0. Gotcha. Yeah, no, absolutely. 808 Michigan Jedi. You heard, my friend. Let's fill you up again as Howard and Hot Toys and Favreau and Filoni and Deborah Chow have us on a roller coaster with the Mandalorian and this guy. Get to have the 808 Michigan Jedi in here. Papas Gurkmo says, I hope the possible smaller batches and simultaneous releases will help calming things down. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's all your perspective, Papas. I think, remember, many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view. Quoting Alec Guinness portraying Obi-Wan Kenobi from A New Hope. And a lot of times your mindset can set the pace for how you feel or how you approach a certain thing. If you're going to be in a bad mood, a good mood, you're going to be in a good disposition, a bad disposition. This is the way of things in life. And if you come into collecting feeling that you have to have every figure and every variant, especially for high-end collectibles like this, it can be very daunting. It can be very distressing. It really, really can. And I think it warrants filling up Table Oblivion again.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
You know, when I first started getting into the joy of collecting vintage Star Wars toys, you know, you learn real quick that you can't get every one of them because it's just, there's too many of them. You have to piece it out, and you have to have a plan, and you have to have a budget, and you have to plan it out. And no matter what Howard Claus does, no matter what Hot Toys does, it's never going to match what's already been out there before. What's already out within the secondary market where you're looking right here. It's too vast. There's too many of them. You have to come in and parse it out. Okay? In a way, coming out with all of these variants and lower production numbers, I've had a lot of people tell me, Aries, I'm skipping on the Arena Suit Boba Fett. I already have a Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. I don't need that Boba Fett. I've had quite a few collectors tell me, Aries, I skipped out on the vintage color Boba Fett because I already have an Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. And I've had quite a few people tell me, Aries, I'm not even interested in the animated Boba Fett. I would never buy it. I don't want the holiday special Boba Fett, but I'd like to return to the Jedi one. And here's the thing. You have to be comfortable making those decisions. I know I sure as heck am. But when you start feeling like you have to have every single one of them, and I could tell you as a channel creator, you absolutely have my endorsement to not collect every figure. You have my endorsement to collect every figure if you want. But certainly never feel like you have to get every figure to feel like you're a big shot. Don't. I don't feel that way as a channel. I've been saying it ever since I came out. I could care less. I don't care. You see me hanging. You see me doing some things with Fabio here and there. He's got way more figures than me. I'll never have as many figures as him. I don't collect like him. I never have, and I never will, and I don't aspire to. But I don't feel like I have to. And you shouldn't feel like you have to. And just like people that collect that many shouldn't feel like they have to collect the way I collect. So you have to do what's comfortable for you. I have a budget in place. I have a plan, a long-term plan of how I want to build my collection. And I have a lot of joy and a lot of fun and spill a lot of coffee doing so. And it doesn't really matter if Hot Toys decides to announce 100 figures tomorrow. I'm not overwhelmed at all. Not only because they won't put out 100 figures announced it tomorrow, or by the end of this year, next year, the year after that, but it's going to be an IPs that I love, but I'm not collecting it. So it doesn't matter to me. It's all in your perspective. If you're going to have a negative disposition, then you're going to have a negative disposition. And if you're going to keep feeding that negative disposition, it's going to continue to be unjoyful for you. And I've had that before with other collections, and I've eliminated it. And I don't collect those anymore. And I don't have that angst anymore. But if you have a desire to want to do it, then you need to make sure that your mindset is either changed or tempered to be able to continue enjoying it. And that's my advice to you. 808 Michigan Jedi. Try to keep up with the Joneses. You'll find yourself in misery broke. Ain't that the truth, brother? Ain't that the truth? Valiant Archer. Hey, gang. Popping in and out while doing some yard work. Hope you're all having fun talking collections in the Cantina. Yeah, having a lot of fun here today, man. I'm always we're brewing. I got the brewer's hat on. Love brewing. Brewing it all up. We're brewing some coffee here at the 6 scale Cantina. Always good to have you in here, Valiant Archer, for sure. And listen, make sure you hit that subscribe. You can hit the subscribe button, hit the like button while I'm going through all this with you. Single Stormtrooper says, actually, even if Mace Windu and Padme don't get announced this year with the 20th anniversary, it will still come out next year with the 20th packaging. Like Lando and Snowspeeder, Luke, better late than never. Well, no matter which way that they slice it, and I do think it's this year, but it could be next year. I think there's going to be another wave next year. They're going to do that. You're right, Single Songwriter. It's just they already said it's coming. Hot Toys has been answering all their calls. Still up here on the website. There it is right there. You see it right there on the side. We are preparing for more collectibles from Star Wars Attack of the Clones to celebrate its 20th anniversary. Stay tuned at our next wave of thrills. I'm staying tuned. I'm waiting. And whether it's this year or next year, it's sure as heck coming. Charlie the Unicorn says, call WPS. TK FOMO. So I'm sure you heard TK FOMO is out of the ICU there, 808. And he already interrupted the program yesterday and today. Earlier in the show. So apparently it's all okay to kind of do the services of WPS, but I think we need more agents for the wallet protection services. Commander Crook, this is a good point. Smaller batches will only create more revenue within the secondary market and more false panic against collectors. And I say, yes. I think you're 100% right. Because that's exactly what it's going to do. Because you're seeing what's going on with some of these figures. And what about the Chrome Clone Trooper, which you're seeing on this side? Also on this side over here as one of the biggest movers. And while nowhere near Dark Side Anakin or more related to the Arena Boba Fett we originally talked about, still selling at crazy prices nonetheless. Let's pull up and see where this Chrome Clone Trooper is right now within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. Sold $445. 2 sold in 24 hours. Oh, the Tim sent 445. 2 sold. You ever notice with so many of them, it's everybody. There's always one available, but then they just more keep showing up. Yeah, still a lot of money for a figure that just, wow. And this goes exactly to your point, my friend. Exactly to your point. But here's the panic. If you want this figure, Commander Crook, You just can't get this figure anymore. You just can't. And I suggest with a lot of these exclusives, you make some decisions prior to when they're going to come out. When you start budgeting for 2023, is it possible that you should set aside some of your collection budget for exclusives you may or may not want? And I say yes. Why? Well, there's two reasons for it. You're not caught with your pants down. If a figure comes out that you want and you don't have it budgeted, A. B, if it's a figure you don't want, you could take that money you already had budgeted to get an exclusive and perhaps buy something else or pad it up for something different in your collection, or just save the money for the next year. So it's a really sound thing to do. That being said, these exclusives are never going to stop now. They're going to be released over and over and over again. Just like with Hasbro with the Black Series and with the Vintage Collection, over and over and over again. And with Hasbro for years and years and years and years and decades and decades and decades and decades. This is the same it always was and always will be. But just like the Dark Jedi, I love this figure. It looks great. It doesn't fit in the collection that I am trying to build. So this is a pass for me. Whether it's $145 or $445. Food for thought. So if this was going to be the one revealed, and I was hoping for, let's say, Darkside Rey, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I budgeted for it. Now I'll take that money and I'll put it to someone else because I got a figure I don't want. I'm not just going to buy to buy. It's very, very particular with this. When you're collecting high-end collectibles, like let's go back to Star Wars Vintage, you have to have a plan. You have to know what you want to add to your collection next, because they're very, very pricey and they're very, very expensive, and far more expensive than any of this stuff. You have to have a plan. And there's no end game in a year or two to build up the collection. Again, unless you got money. Like Pizza the Hut. Which is fine. I don't. So, but $445, sweet looking baby. This sweet. 2 head sculpts. Wow. It's a dynamite looking piece. Dynamite. 76 in here now. Smash that like button. Good stuff there, Commander Crook. Good stuff. Totally agree with you. Totally agree. Trying to get to some more of these comments. Gosh, there's so many. Bear with the Dark Jedi here. Thick Bantha Boys in the house. What's up there, buddy? There is also no endgame with Hot Toys Endgame. There's not, but I probably, my friend, need to fill up table 2 with a couple of Marvel characters here.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
808 Michigan Jedi says, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a limited exclusive Chrome version Darth Vader or Chrome Boba Fett. Oh, gosh. 808 Michigan Jedi. Is this what they call you, brother?
They call him the Wizard.
Star Wars Newsman. What's going on there, Brent? Good to have Brent in here. A little bit of a plug. Brent is going to be joining me on a panel I'm having this coming Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. The market show will be back live. Of course, I missed this Wednesday. A lot of you do. Had some personal stuff. I couldn't come on. But I will be on this Wednesday at 7 p.m. start, as usual. 6 Scale Cantina Live, and the Star Wars Newsman will be back with us Good to have you in here, my friend. Hot Toys could put a Yoda, he says, head sculpt on a Darth Vader body, and it will sell. And look, I know what the Star Wars newsman is saying, and I agree totally with him. You could do anything like that, and it will absolutely sell. And that's ridiculous and preposterous, but that's his whole point, is that it's just money right now for them. And remember, you got an Andor series coming up. Wow, we got to talk about that. I think we'll be bringing that up a little bit here on the Wednesday show with the Star Wars newsman and a couple others. Then you've got, shortly after that, coming out in February, The Mandalorian Season 3, following up by the Ahsoka series. You also got the Bad Batch coming out here at the end of this year, coming in. A whole bunch of stuff coming out. We don't even have a movie for Star Wars out since the rise of Skywalker, which is very, very interesting. And by the time we get to a film for Star Wars that officially gets out in the box office, as far as like things that we're talking about, like you say, putting a Yoda head sculpt on a Darth Vader body, or having something that's like a venomized Iron Man, a similar, a direct parallel, having that with Darth Vader, or as like 808 Michigan Jedi said, having a chrome Darth Vader or a chrome Boba Fett. Certainly having some type of weird, angle that they're going to have on some fun with some of these figures. You're going to be having more and more of that by that time. And if the movie is any good, which, gosh, I hope. As long as we do right by Luke Skywalker, I think we're going to be okay. That was a big problem, but not to get into that. I always do, but gosh almighty. The Clone Collector says the Chrome Stormtrooper will go for crazy bucks. All right, let me ask you something, Clone Collector. How high do you think that this Chrome Clone Trooper is going to go? I actually think this one's going to be about a $500 tier range figure, which is high for this type of exclusive. You don't exactly have that for the porcelain one, although in the most part it does go in the 400s. The copper-plated one, right now, doesn't go that high, between 3 and 4. But because of all this, it's actually going to shoot up. You heard it here at 6 Scale Cantina. That's what happens. Because what happens is you have the chrome-plated Stormtrooper from this year and Star Wars going up. It's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at my collection here for a few months, and I don't have the bronze one. It creates its supply and demand. It creates buzz. You're seeing that with the animated Boba Fett. Not that it needed any turbo boost. Not that the animated Boba Fett needed any supercharging whatsoever. But make no mistake about it. The arena suit Boba Fett is catapulting the animated Boba Fett. It is just the way of things. And that's what's going to happen with those prior exclusives. For sure. For sure. So many comments going in there as I continue to go on. 75 in here now. Please go ahead and smash the like button if you haven't already. The Dark Jedi does appreciate your support here. The Clone Collector says I can see it being $400 or $500. Yeah, I mean that's where it is right now. As Single Songwriter goes, I say 400 plus. Yeah. I think it's going to go over 5 only because it's a clone with 2 head sculpts, but we'll see. I mean, right now it's already there, but it could hopefully it just levels off this way. Sean Smith goes, I don't care for Chrome Clone Trooper at all. It is Star Wars copy of the Black Series. It is a pass for me. Yeah, well, they copy Black Series. It's a really good point. They copy Black Series. They copy Gentle Giant. Gentle Giant copies that. Dark Side Ray. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Dark Side Ray. The garbage will do, baby.
The garbage will do.
my goodness gracious. Expect more than 2 surprises in the Andor series. I know. I know. I quite hear you, my friend. I quite hear you. Man, there's so many comments in here. 73 in here. Hit the like button. Charlie the Unicorn, or Daisy, 3333. That's what's going on with the Chrome Trooper here. Let's go to some more in the biggest mover section. So, actually, before we even go more, I mean, we have some other kind of crazy news. But let's talk about this. You have this Stormtrooper, this clone trooper here, which you're seeing the price here within the secondary market already. $445, 2 sold in the last 24 hours. You can't get it anymore. And then going back to looking at some of these here, I want to pull these up onto the screen. What about the Stormtrooper, the chrome-plated Stormtrooper that was just announced last week as a Hot Toys exclusive? Now, I'm going to the Hot Toys website, and I touched on this a little bit yesterday, but this goes right into the other figures, such as the Arena Suit Boba Fett, such as the chrome-plated Clone Trooper. What about this chrome-plated Stormtrooper here? Is that going to be $500? Well, I'll tell you right now. If this chrome-plated Stormtrooper that you're seeing up here on the screen, and I'll blow it up, if it's not available for sale in Europe, and it's not available for sale in the US, I think it's going to be pretty high. And you know when your mouth is getting dry, you're pretty high. Some of you will get that. Anyway. Anyway. But it does say here, where here's a differential you have to look at. It's all in the wording until there's an official announcement from Hot Toys themselves. Look at the cosplays here. Look at the Infinity War Avengers Tony Stark Shanghai exclusive. This is a Shanghai exclusive. It says Shanghai exclusive. You're only going to get these cosplays at the new Hot Toys store in Shanghai, China. Period. That's what it says. When you go down and you look at some of these other figures, including the Cap, including that one Iron Man, it says here Hot Toys exclusive. But Hot Toys exclusive where? Let's go ahead and read more of the writing, and I'll highlight it. Today, Hot Toys is delighted to present a special chrome color version of Timeless Stormtrooper 1/6 scale collectible as an exclusive item only available in select markets. It didn't say Shanghai exclusive. It didn't say select market. It said markets. It said markets. What markets? And really, the biggest market, even though Grogu and the Mandalorian are changing the face of Star Wars in Asia, make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about it, it's changing there. And they continue to do well. Favreau, Filoni, and Deborah Chow and that whole gang with Grogu and Mando, it's going to continue to excel in the Asian market, which is going to make Star Wars absolutely crazy, if you think it isn't crazy right now. But really, this is a US and Europe release when you look at it that way. And you have to look at the wording. I have heard, and I think it's viable, that it's possible that this will not be available here in the US or in Europe. And that would be unfortunate, and I think that that is very possible. But there's a part of me that believes that it's possible, and more than the 10%, that the Arena Suit Boba Fett, that will be answered by Hot Toys or Sideshow, perhaps. I give it a 50% chance. I'm 50-50 on this. And I understand both sides. But I really, really think before you go out and you spend $450 on this, even if you wind up waiting a month or two, you're still going to spend $450. Okay, well, let's talk about it. If you're going to spend $450, you might as well spend $550. It's not going to get much more than that, maybe $600. So if you're going to spend that much anyway, roll the dice, wait a couple months, and you're going to spend around the same amount anyway. I would hold off because there's part of me that really believes, from the wording that I'm seeing here, that this is either going to be available in Europe or in America or both. And really, and I believe the same thing for Captain America. I mean, this is, first of all, huge in the European and American markets, right? A. B, Captain America is Captain America. It should be available in America, I would think. Just saying. But let me know in the chat. What do you think about this? What is your opinion on this? Do you think it's going to come out here? If you don't, do you think there's any chance that it will? Let me know. And if it doesn't, what is the price of this figure that if people try to go ahead and scrounge for it? And if it does, what's the price of it then? And yeah, it looks sweet. I mean, Hot Toys uses the word to describe this as a timeless Stormtrooper. And I will say that that is 100% accurate. It's an OT Stormtrooper. I will never get tired. If you're a diehard and you love Star Wars, you never get tired of these versions. I never get tired of it with some of the other collections, and it's what it is. Let's go ahead and get to some of these comments that are in here. Papos Gurkmo says, my gut feeling says this will be available at Sideshow in the near future. They are just keeping us on our toes for a bit so that we will jump on the pre-orders when they are available. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. That is very possible. Clone Trooper says the only people who win if these are only released in Asia are the resellers. It's hard to argue with that. Single Songwriter says, note, the Han Solo and Luke Stormtrooper disguise were both Hot Toys exclusives, and they were also released in the USA in small batches. Didn't I hear, though? Tell me, Songwriter, or someone in there, what about the bronze, the copper-plated Stormtrooper? Was that released in Europe or the US, or is that only released in the Asian market? Somebody let me know if you know the answer to that. Shiny Suit X says it would be hard to believe they actually care about the Toys Wonderland stuff if they only release over there. Again, you can't even go by what was done in the past, because there are obviously things that are different now in the future, right? Which is part of the reason why, regardless of what happened in the past, whether they had some before that weren't available here or not, I believe in this day and age, it's probably going to be released here. Mark Attack goes, they're going to be dipping figures in chrome like nachos and guacamole, or like pepperoni in pizza, baby.
You're delicious.
Ciao, boys.
OG fan, Cottonmouth strikes again. Put on your Madison blues. Put on your Madison blue shoes. Come on. Jack Jones says, Aries, I am so glad I have Captain Rex and Commander Cody because I sold it for, wow, 500 euros for both in the UK market. Well, I just saw a local listing for Commander Cody sell, quite honestly, Jack Jones, for $400, not including shipping, not including taxes, probably around the range, a little bit higher than the market value chart average, like $440. And then another one just sold straight out with Commander Cody, $500 US. It was like $495 US. Okay, I think it was that. I have that up in there. I got so much market data stuff. Again, you can still get that figure. It's an average. Okay, I still see that people could get that figure for like 380, 370, sometimes 365. But then you could also see it selling for 465, right? Like we're talking about here, and 475. So it's kind of like you go up to the plate and bat. Sometimes it's like, wow, he's a really good hitter. He's really hitting a high average, 340. Well, that doesn't mean he gets a base hit all the time. So a lot of sellers, they try and capitalize like, oh, this figure sold for this much. And then, oh, why? I only got this much for it. It's just an average. It's an average. It's an ebb and flow. So you always got to understand that in market values. I do see that Commander Cody right now averaging in the low 400s. Where is it around? 420, 430, something like that. And I think eventually that figure will be a $500 tier range figure. I've said it all along. I said it would take a couple years. And we'll see what happens by the end of this year. And we're going into the Mandalorian into next year. It's Commander Cody. Just look at the Sideshow versions that were up for years and years and years before Hot Toys put out the Rex and put out the Commander Cody Jack Jones. And eventually they will, because that's just how it is. Very, very good thoughts on that. But again, trying to talk about this chrome, copper chrome was an Asian exclusive. Says OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. So is it possible that they do the same thing then again, OG fan, with this? And I say that's why I'm 50-50. But I think in this day and age, I think the new times for Hot Toys, I think with the adjustments you're seeing them make, I have a hunch, and especially the way that they worded it, which I was just showing right here on their Facebook page, that it's not just a Shanghai exclusive, and it's available in certain markets, not market. Before you run out to go spend $500 on this figure, give it a couple of months. What do you got to lose? Still going to be $500. So you buy it from one of those sellers that there's always one left available or whatever it is. All right, so $445, so maybe you're going to spend $505. Big deal. Worth rolling the dice to wait and see. That's my take on it. I certainly would. What does the OG fans say here as well? And as far as I could see, people call the copper chrome chocolate when I cannot find a listing on Hot Toys site for anything other than the gold and copper chrome. No, that was the one I'm talking about. That one there. I don't know. Yeah, I think. Charlie the Unicorn says Rex will become more desirable once Ahsoka drops. You know he will show up somehow in the show. You're seeing it. Look, more and more collectors, my friend, are coming into. I'm trying to look for that comment. More and more collectors, my friends, are coming into Hot Toys, and not just for Star Wars. They're coming in for Marvel as well, which is why I said yesterday. Say what you will about the Marvel figures right now that they're not doing too well in the secondary market. There's a lot of different reasonings for that, but make no mistake about it. Once the new crew, the new Avengers starts coming out, and once there's eventually a new Endgame, a new Infinity War, especially when they go back in time and they go ahead and you see Robert Downey Jr. again. And gosh, I don't know why I love this. What's her name? The one who plays Black Widow. She's awesome, but for some reason the actress's name is leaving me. I loved her at all. Scarlett Johansson. There you go. To think that they'll never show up is kind of like thinking William Dafoe and Tobey Maguire was never going to show up again. They'll show up, and then you have to look at some of those figures in there, and they will rise up high. And once they get to that other part again, too, when they get up to that, I mean, they're owned by Disney. There's ebbs and flows. Ebbs and flows. Anyway, Rex will definitely go up in value. Single songwriter says Sideshow exclusives exclusively available through sideshow.com at Shanghai Downtown Disney for gold Stormtrooper. Well, then there you go. Then it was available there. And I think this is going to be available too. So I wouldn't go out and spend $500 on it unless you want to, which you're welcome to. And I got no problem with it. But if you're looking to save money, I'm telling you, you could probably wait. OG fan says, no, this is just an exclusive by the label. The Copper Chrome has the Asia exclusive label. This Chrome Stormy will be sold in the USA, which is also what Single Songwriter is saying. Again, I would wait. I have a feeling that they could be right. And do they call these guys?
They call him the Wizard.
Knight of Ren, Scarlett Johansson. Yes, I did figure it out, but you put it right there. Thank you, my friend, as well. Always happy for that. Sean Smith says, Aries, do you think we get Obi-Wan Kenobi, clone trooper, in show long hair and long face hair? Here's what's going to happen with Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're 1,000% going to get the General Obi-Wan Kenobi just the way that they showed it from the Clone Wars animated series. It's coming. And I think you're going to get another Obi-Wan Kenobi from the first half of the season of the Obi-Wan series in that outfit. Whether or not it'll be a DX remains to be seen. I'm 50-50 on it. I also think that eventually you're going to get an Obi-Wan from the very last scene in that Obi-Wan series. I literally think you can get 3 of them. Remember, you got two of Vision from the WandaVision series, right? And I love Vision. And I love that actor, and he was absolutely phenomenal in one of my favorite movies of all time, A Knight's Tale. If you've never seen A Knight's Tale, it was just absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. A lot of fun. I love the villain in there, Rufus Sewell. He was just absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal with Heath Ledger. In that, I just love that. But I love the actor who played the Vision. All respect to Vision. Obi-Wan Kenobi is just a little bit more popular, and that show was a bit more popular. And they're going to probably give you 3 Obi-Wans from that series. Just saying. Plus, as I've been telling you all along, you're going to have multiple Obi-Wans up for pre-order at one time. Just like if there's multiple Lukes, and there's going to be more. Just like if there's multiple Fetts, and there's going to be more. And just like there'll be multiple Vaders. And yes, regardless of what you think, it's really going to happen. You're going to get the Vader with the head sculpt next year for the 40th anniversary. Can't have a 40th anniversary Empire of Return of the Jedi not have Vader. That's coming. You cannot have Dark Side Anakin, which is Darth Vader, at the prices it's at and not come out with that. That's 3 Darth Vaders right there. If they don't give you any more Darth Vaders, which I think that they will from this series, because you have Darth Vader with the regular head sculpt, with the Hayden Christensen head sculpt, that I already got you inside information from the mouth of Hayden Christensen, where he said that there was a few Hot Toys under development with his likeness. What are they going to be? And I get it. I know some of you are like, I don't need all those Darth Vaders. I appreciate that. I don't need all these troopers. I need all the Darth Vaders, though. So I'm going to buy them all. You don't have to buy them all. So it's no sweat from you. If they come out with all of them, be happy and have joy and put a smile on your face. Because guess what? No one's forcing you to buy anything. No one forces me to buy anything. Guarantee you that. I don't care what anyone else does. I think you know that if you've been following me here. since I came on last year. And Hot Toys knows that. Because you can't put out so much of one figure and think everyone's going to buy what all the figures are coming out with. So how do you handle that? Not put out figures and go out of business? No, you put out lower quantities. Because Dark Jedi's not buying this. No, I got to put out one then with a Tamora Morrison head sculpt, so Dark Jedi would buy it. You bet your butt. Some people won't buy that. Make a smaller version of it. This is the way of things. Really, to me, it's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2 + 2 = 4. 1 + 1 = 2. We could debate it all day, but this is what happens in business. This is production and manufacturing and distribution 101. Which is what I was telling you yesterday on this stuff. Oh, well, we're going to have to wait. We could wait for coupons the next 5 years. Really? Really? You mean Sideshow's going to continue to order? They're going to continue to stuff their face until down their throat until their esophagus blows up because they can't fit anymore. They're going to order more. They're going to rent out, sublet out more DCs that to fit in because they just want to. They have money like Pizza the Hut to continue to do this. But some of the figures you got last, I agree. Wait for some coupons. They're going to go on. Some of the figures that are going to come out in 2023 and 2024, you're going to wait for coupons? I don't know. I think if you want the figure, I would just buy the figure once it gets in stock within a few months. Because that's always been the pattern. And they're going to find a way to get back to that pattern. Because they would be out of their minds if they continue to act and produce and manufacture and distribute and sell the same way they did last year. Just like the armor is still in stock and the Chrome Clone Trooper is not, and the Arita Suit Boba Fett is not, because of the same reasoning that I'm giving you right here. Because it makes no fiscal business sense to continue under the same method if it's not working. All right, looking at some of these comments in here. A lot about Padawan etiquette. That's coming. That's coming. OG 808 says, I don't buy the chrome makeover for certain figures, but we need figures from San Diego Comic-Con 2020. That's another thing. I'm glad that you brought this up. Glad that you brought this up. And I talked about this some months ago. And I told you that Hot Toys was going to continue forth. Going forward, making believe that there's nothing wrong. And they were going to be coming out with multiple announcements at once, but also multiple releases, several releases at one time to try and catch up, but not addressing it at all. And honestly, it's not very, very different from what they've been doing before COVID. It's kind of been this way. They're going to just continue along this vein and continue to do that. And I think that as you budget and as you plan, you see, a lot of people pre-order to budget their money. And you should do that, especially if it works for you. But it can be tied up, man, right? In a way for a long time. So I tell you, for me, I don't pre-order. So they could delay it 5 years and I don't care. I mean, I care because I want the figure. But I'm like, okay, well, then I'm not giving that cash. I buy a lot off of comic shops. I'll buy off of Sideshow. I've mentioned, like for a seller you all know, Ray at Hawk Wars. I buy off of him on some of the figures, like that Moff Gideon I showed yesterday. You know, I don't really put any pre-order money out there, on reserve, just to be honest with you. So for me, it's like, when it comes out, it comes out. I just buy it. Food for thought. Mark Attack says, 6-scale Cantina, do you think we haven't gotten Bestman Han yet because of Harrison Ford? No. No. I addressed this earlier in the show. But let me fill you up, baby, at table 10.
You stuck up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Has nothing to do with Harrison Ford. They already have the license for this mold, or they wouldn't have showed it. You can't, like I mentioned earlier in the show, you can't show Bestman Han. To be quite frank with you, Mark Attack, you can't show Bestman Han as they did with the Bestman Leia, even insinuate the likeness of something from Star Wars that you don't have the rights to create. Okay, you can't go ahead and let's be sneaky with Star Wars and our license and put on Bestman Han pants from the movie, put on the Bestman Han outfit with the Bestman Han. You can't do that. You can't do that. You just can't do it. Some of us may think we can do that, and I get it, but you really can't. Not at that level that they're at with that license with Star Wars. It's 100% coming. The reason it's not been announced yet, and so many figures are coming out from the crypt, is because of this.
Fulfill your destiny.
And that's the only reason, baby. That's the only reason. But yeah, going back to 808's other comment, they do have to start putting out these figures. I mean, we're waiting so long. They're doing pretty good with Star Wars. There's so many Marvel ones out there, and at the end game releases, it's like taking forever. But they're gonna hide it, sweep it under the rug. 808, it's an issue. We just have to figure out a way to budget and work around it. Especially 808, as Hot Toys is getting into their third decade of existence. They're very young. Things are starting to evolve and take shape. You got to be able to take what it's shaping into and make adjustments accordingly. Kind of very similar, and I know you know this as well, brother. But my take on it is just like things are taking shape with the COVID stuff and this economy and everyone kind of making adjustments moving forward. I think we're all going to have to do that with Hot Toys, brother. I really, really do. My 2 cents on it. Harry sounds like he ran a business before. I ran a cantina. I brew. I own the Milwaukee Brewers. You have to wonder. I mean, is this what they call me?
They call him the Wizard.
Raylo Biggs is in the house. I'm still waiting for Zombie Palpatine from Revenge of the Sith. Oh, what did that be? I mean, he's already scary, dude. He's scared. He doesn't need any help. Good. He doesn't need any help. One of the most crazy scenes in the whole freaking Palpatine to the Emperor from Revenge of the Sith. Are you kidding me? Have you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Is it possible to achieve this power? Not from a Jedi. Ooh, the chills. The chills. Up and down the Dark Jedi spine. Goosebumps. Sean Smith says, Aries, can they show him 3 times? Why don't they drop him? They showed Cobb Vanth 3 times, right? Why didn't they drop? They're just showing. Remember, everything's coming out from the crypt, including the figures that were teased in there. It's timing, baby. Timing. That's why. Boba Fett on the Throne is the next release, is what I'm hearing. We're going to get into that now. What about what's coming out next? 70 in here. Let's smash the like button. Let's go into the next segment here. Real quick. I want to. Is Bo Katan coming Monday? Is Ahsoka Tano with Grogu coming Monday? Are we missing the boat here, and we're actually going to get the Mandalorian now? We're going to get into that here. We're going to get into that for sure. We're going to get into a couple of other market things here. Let me go ahead and show a couple of things going on here. Let's go ahead and bring up a Rey again. And let's look at a couple of these because they're on the banner. And I got to put these up before we go ahead and give you my thoughts on a couple of these. 808 says Padme was in all 3 movies. She is an immediate drop. I agree. I agree there, 808. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on with Rey and Dio in the secondary market. $390 just sold 3 days ago. Brand new. Not including the $18 in shipping. Excellent seller. 981 feedback. All 100% positive. Brand new. Seeing it right there. There she is. I love this figure. I mean, and the Rey and BB-8 also. I mean, still holding strong. Rey, The Last Jedi. Absolutely crazy within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys. I'm trying to get you to another listing I have right here to put this up onto the screen. And even on the listings here, you're going to see so many watchers putting this up here. Again, another outstanding seller. Hawk Wars Toys. Now 1,341. All 100% positive feedback. And he has it up here for pretty good price. $390. Condition new. Actually, looks like he has an offer up on here. You can make an offer. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I buy some of this stuff from Rey. He's a very, very good seller. Yeah, but Rey and Dio, even with all this, imagine when they start retconning the sequels. Still high in the secondary market. I'm seeing the same thing with Rey and BB-8 being steady at the low 300s. Seeing the same thing with Rey, The Last Jedi. The Rey from Force Awakens by herself doesn't sell that much. And Rey Resistance is it's But those 3, I told you this one's a grail, though. Just being completely honest with you. Being completely real. Another one here, though. Just bringing this up onto the screen. Already with 12 bids. And there's only 5 hours left from another outstanding seller. Almost 400, I would say almost 390 feedback. All 100% positive. It's not even really any pictures of the product. It's just like this one picture here. You can't even zoom into it. It's new. It's sealed. Like it has 29 watchers for a Luke Endor Deluxe. Not including 20 in shipping. So $485. Not including taxes. Well over 500 already. With 5 hours left. Even if it doesn't have another bid. $500 and over. This figure, this Luke, which is why I'm still going to point this out to you. If you're looking for a deal on a Luke, that Luke Return of the Jedi, I'm just saying, Jedi Knight with the fat suit, it's going to go up. It's a grail. That'd be the one I would hunt for. You can hunt this. This one's very, very, very hard. To be completely honest with you. Look at the Rogue One Vader. I mean, 4 days left. Just check this out. Because a lot of people were asking me, Aries, will the battle damage Darth Vader have any effect on the other Vaders in the market? And while it'll have some effect, there'll be ebbs and flows. For the most part, it's Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan series with a Hayden Christensen head sculpt. It is not the Rogue One Vader from that film. It is not the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader with David Prowse under the hood. It is not the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader. It is not the Vader from A New Hope. It's not the Clone Wars Vader, which they're going to come out with. It's not the chrome plated Vader that someone suggested. I think it was 808 Michigan Jedi and some of you others that they're going to come out with. It's not the myriad of Vaders that they're going to come out with. Just like OG Fan says, Boba Fett is the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. Must have all Boba Fetts. There are some people who feel like Darth Vader is the most feared Sith Lord in all the galaxy. Must have all Lord Vaders. But look at this. Looky. 426 watchers. Not including 20 in shipping, not including taxes, already just at $500. And this isn't just like one. Like I got so many data. There's so much data. Here's a Rogue One Vader that sold. Let's bring that up on the screen. You can look at this right here. Just from August 10th. 21 bids. $455. Another outstanding seller. Over 110 feedback. All 100% positive. 455, ladies and gentlemen. 21 bids. 455. Rogue One Vader. Yes, you can get the battle damaged DX28 Vader right now. But the people bidding on this do not care. They don't care. Because you want a Rogue One Vader. Because if you're a Vader aficionado and must have all Vaders, you're going to get all Vaders. And I will tell you that this Sun gun here looks fantastic. Look at that. But the proof's in the pudding here. As I show you the data, this is what's going on. This is what's going on. Tarkin. And I told you last week when I showed you this, that this was going to be gone in 24 hours. Not even a best offer, not a coupon. Hawk Wars Toys again, another outstanding seller. All 100% positive. $635 from Hawk Wars. Not included the 24 in shipping. $700+ for Tarkin. There seems to be no slowing down within the secondary market for Star Wars Hot Toys, regardless of what's coming out or how many. There's ebbs and flows. There's figures that are trending down, figures that are trending up, figures that seemingly have no effect at all. This is a highly sought after one. You have to wonder how long until we get a Rogue One Vader. I think Fabio was talking about that last week, that he really feels about the Rogue One one. I agree. I could see that. I could also see a Bad Batch one. I could also see a lot of people talk about the Bad Batch one. I could see a Clone Wars animated series one. But don't think they won't just straight out reissue this. Again, I don't have this figure and I hunt for it. And if I'm able to find it for like $375 all in or $400, I may buy it because that's my max. And I know that they're going to come out with another version. And I'm fine if it goes down to $300 because I really as long as it keeps like the retail value, I'm fine. I don't mind spending a little bit extra. Again, I don't buy this like I'm investing in stocks and bonds. Okay, this is not my 401k. It's just a joy. I don't want to lose and have it only be $2. I don't want to lose and have it only be worth a Black Series figure. I'm not saying being reckless like that. What I'm telling you is I don't give a crap. I just want it because I want it. Okay. I bought the Beskar Mandalorian with Grogu, not because I thought it was going to be a Grail. They made 40,000 of them. I knew that because I want the Beskar Mandalorian with Grogu. I'm not interested in being a Grail. I don't care. It's what I want. Let's go to the Star Wars figures here at Sideshow. Make sure you hit the like button. Have you hit the like button yet? Please go ahead and pause right now. If you're enjoying this content and you're enjoying all the work I put in with the data here, I really do appreciate if you smash the like button. Let's get Howard to see this. And also, if this is the first time that you're watching 6 Scale Cantina, go ahead and subscribe if you want to. I do appreciate your support for sure. Welcome everybody who's in here. I hope you're having fun. Getting into the last segment, going into this here, putting out all the Star Wars Hot Toys. What is going to be coming out? I'm trying to get all of them up on the screen early, and I want to get into some of these here. And what are the ones I think that we need to talk about? It is this, and I don't think it's talked about too much. And this is due out, expected to ship October to December of 2022. And there's a lot of reasons to go ahead and have this come out this month, or actually in September. It could be one of the early ones that actually gets officially released there. And one of the things to consider with this, coming out October to December 2022, putting this up onto the screen is exactly what you're seeing there. I cannot wait to get this. Right now, you could go ahead, and I'm sure a lot of you, including me, are planning for the Dark Trooper. And I cannot wait. I know exactly what I'm going to do with that Dark Trooper. Posing it with this Luke and this and I did get the DX Luke. Besides the Snowspeeder pilot Luke, this is my second most anticipated. It's right on equal par with it figure of this year. It's Luke Skywalker, and I mean, it looks just like him from that finale, which we could debate all day about the CGI. I don't give a crap about the CGI. I care about the theory and the reasons behind why Favreau and Filoni put him in the Mandalorian Season 2 finale, which is what I want to capture in my collecting display, is more of the correction of Star Wars from The Last Jedi, which is why I love this. And you can't make it look any better than what Hot Toys did, because in my view, it looks almost exactly, and I mean exactly the way it looked in the TV show, which, quite frankly, is the job Hot Toys has. As a consumer like myself, I want screen accuracy. Okay? I don't want to debate all day if Snoke should have been in the movie or shouldn't be in the movie, or if Rey's a Mary Sue or not a Mary. I really don't. If I want the figure from the show, if I want the figure from the movie, I want the damn figure. That's it. And this is exactly the way it looked there. And it's freaking fantastic. I dare say it looks better, to be quite honest with you. But I have an interesting feeling on this, that we're going to be getting hit with some of these figures coming out over here. Let's get to some of the stuff in the chat. We got 80 in here. I do appreciate smacking the smacking. You can smack the like button. Single songwriter puts in here, Howard Chan also cried at the Mando Season 2 finale, just like many of us. I know. And I love this movie. Don't get me wrong. It's one of the best movies ever made. And I don't care about Snoke. And I think that Rian Johnson did some innovative things. You can't be innovative like that with Luke, though. But I cried because I was hurt by this.
Fulfill your destiny.
I mean, I walked out of the theater. Not only did I have to digest that Luke was a hobo Luke, who the most optimistic, hopeful hero from my childhood of the future, it was hard to take, and then died. And you know what I'm talking about. It wasn't the same like when Harrison Ford and Han died. That was going to happen. We all knew that anyway. While that sucked, no one had an issue with it. So yeah, this was damn emotional. I could cry right now looking at this. Like, seriously. This is very, very important to me. Very important to me. Extremely important. And like I said, you could debate all day about the deep fake or how Favreau and Filoni should have did it and all that. That's a different conversation. I'll leave that to other channels and other channels that discuss movies and stuff like that. Hot Toys, I want the actual accuracy from the darn TV show, whether it was right or wrong or indifferent, whatever. This is what they're giving me. To me, like Howard Chan putting this in there was important to me. Which is why this is on equal par with the Empire Strikes Back 40th ESB Luke. Yeah, I want the Ahsoka. Yeah, I want the Boba Fett in the throne. Yeah, I want Pedro Pascal. Yeah, I want some of those other figures. I really want this for what it means. I really do. And honestly, that's why I'm really buying the other Dark Trooper. Because it's going to complete this scene. There's going to be multiple ways I'm going to continue to play and do this. You have no idea. I mean, I don't want to get into it right now because I can get emotional with it. But Favreau and Filoni, they did right by me putting this back in with Luke Skywalker. Some of you fans out there that can't relate, if your favorite, imagine if they did something wrong to Spider-Man. Or they did something wrong to Superman, which some people believe that they did. You'll know how I feel. Anyway, we got to talk about it. This is going to come out early. The Han Solo death was gut-wrenching. I know. It really, really was. Single Songwriter says, Mandalorian got nominated for 24 awards, the highest ever any TV show since television was invented. That tells you something. Tells you something with the Book of Boba Fett beats it by 36% too. Not to digress. And say what goes. Sam Short, hello there at Epic Stream. Lucky for you, there is a rewind. Sam Short, what's going on? Glad that you're in here, my friend. Chris K says, I just need Hot Toys to release Bo Katan. We're going to get into that right now. They put him in, says Thick Bantha Boy, to make us all cry. Will Royal Guards get a re-release? I actually think that they will. I personally do, within the 40th anniversary packaging of Return of the Jedi. But going back to this could be one of the ones coming out very, very soon. Let me blow up the screen. Continue with the chat. Make sure you smash the like button. I do appreciate, as I go all over this, your guys' support. This not only helps the Dark Trooper right now. It helps Moff Gideon. And if they come out with this right in conjunction with another figure, here's the craziness of this. As I go ahead and pull this up onto the screen, we're going to get to the last segment over here, as we're in the last segment right now. But let's go ahead and go to the Pedro Pascal chrome-plated Stormtrooper. Chrome, here it is. This one. I'm a Stormtrooper heavy with all this chrome stuff. All right. Moff Gideon helps the Dark Trooper. Number one. The Luke I just put up helps the Dark Trooper. Number two. This figure here, the Mandalorian and Grogu, is the third figure that helps the Dark Trooper. This figure also helps the Luke Skywalker. The Luke Skywalker also helps this figure. This figure also helps Moff Gideon. And the Luke Skywalker helps the Moff Gideon. I don't think they made that many of those Dark Troopers. I don't. I cannot wait for this. This is the pinnacle. This is the cream of the crop of the Mandalorian figures, in my view. Look at everything you get here. Head sculpt, chrome-plated armor, the frickin' Darksaber, back then, the jetpack, and Boba Fett helmet. Are you kidding me? The bags, all the deluxe version exclusives. You get Grogu. Oh, I mean, goodness gracious. Look at all those accessories. Wow. How much is this one again? $375. Worth it in every way. Cannot wait for this figure. Cannot wait at all. And this also goes with the finale scene. I think a lot of those can be coming very, very quickly and not waiting till December is my point, which I'm being very, very honest with you about. Now, let's go to some of the other ones. I know we want to get to Bo Katan, but we got to get to this. I dare say, there's not a hotter moment than right now to officially release this figure. Just being honest with you. If they wanted to push this up to pack to and it's not really a push up, gosh, it's going to be the end of August before you know it, in a couple of weeks here. So September. I know we're still in the third quarter. And what does this do to come out? October to December. I dare say there's just not a hotter time. Could some of these that I'm showing you come out earlier than Bo Katan or even the Ahsoka? Let's go to them because I know you're all waiting for me to get to Bo Katan and Ahsoka. Let's pull them up on the screen and see where they're doing. You can get this information due out, but you can get this information as well right here at 6scalecantina.com in the Star Wars Marvel comparison that I have up on there. Let's pull up Bo Katan Cries. September to November. It's really a 1 month difference. I feel like a lot of these are going to come out at the same time. She's also very important in the finale scene and goes well with the Moff Gideon and goes well. It could go with the Luke. It could go with the Pedro Pascal. 285. September to November. She's due out technically in the third quarter. They kind of pushed this here. September, November. Third quarter, fourth quarter. I cannot wait for this figure. Cannot wait for this figure. And I still don't understand all the hoopla with the head sculpt because I think she looks absolutely phenomenal. But then again, I'm a giant Katie Sackhoff fan. I mean, literally, I think it looks just like her. Just being honest with you. I think it's just the lighting and different things. I'm sure that they worked on it. If you notice, they didn't come out with any type of announcement. Any type of announcement like with Peacemaker that they're correcting this. Because quite honestly, I don't think that there's anything to do. I think when the final production photos come out, people are going to go insane over a Bo Katan. And you know what wouldn't shock me here? To be completely honest with you, wouldn't it be something? You have to wonder with this figure. As I pull this up on the screen, and we got 86 in here now. Make sure you smash the like button. I'm not saying that they would do it. They certainly did it with Rey and Dio by giving you the yellow lightsaber, and I think you know where I'm going with this. Wouldn't it be insane if with the final production photos with this, they include something as also seen in the Clone Wars animated series? You want to talk about boosting sales immediately? Because I was already saying, this is like buying Bo Katan for your Clone Wars collection, especially since they're using the same actresses and actors like this anyway, just like that they did with Hayden Christensen from the Clone Wars. And you have to remember as well, what's very interesting about this is Katie Sackhoff was the voice of Bo Katan anyway in the Clone Wars animated series. So wouldn't that be an extra special little bonus? And I could tell you right now, for Clone Wars fans, it would only supercharge this Bo Katan through the roof. And you have to wonder, is it possible that this head sculpt here is going to be one of the best head sculpts that Hot Toys has ever made once the final production photos are shown?
They call him the Wizard.
And I say, yes. It's good to dream. Good to dream. Bo Katan. Bo Katan. Oh, look who's in here. Woo! Single songwriter says Clone Wars Bo Katan and Mando Season 3 Bo Katan are going to be fire. I know. It's going to be fire. Damn, Sam Short, I can't wait for this figure. Insane what Starbuck. Some of you Michael Hogan fans know what I just did there. Mark Attack. There is a rumor that Bo Katan will have new armor Mando 3. Oh my God, with Bo Katan and Katie Sackhoff, you talk about there being different versions of Boba Fett and different versions of Mandalorian and Pedro Pascal. Just forget about it with Bo Katan. I mean, highly legendary character, especially in the Clone Wars and you know, all that stuff there on canon. Come on. Come on. Come on. Someone puts in here, Thick Bantamweight, who said she's out? Is she out? Did she come out while I'm on? I never get that kind of look. Never get that kind of look. Waiting on the Mandalorian Ahsoka. So I believe all of these figures tie in together. She's in the finale scene. Notice these are all finale scene figures that I'm showing. I'm trying to give you a little bit of a story here as we're going. Everything I've showed you so far, I think everything I've shown you is a finale scene figure, right? The Mandalorian, the Luke, the Boba Fett throne. You got to put him in. I mean, Boba Fett was in there. I mean, at the finale, end of credits. Everything I've showed you is kind of related in one way or another, right? There's certainly not a hotter time for Boba Fett than right now. Where's my girl? Gosh. This one's earlier than Bo Katan, August 2022 to September 22, and no one's talking about it. It's due out right now. It's due out right now. Oh, baby. Anyone excited about Ahsoka Tano? Anyone looking at this and kind of getting jittery? Chills. Anyone doing this? A DX Ahsoka Tano. It was possible. They put it out. They put this out when they put it out. Not to pat myself on the back, but this was another call that I made about Ahsoka coming out from The Mandalorian last year. And after I was talking about it, they put it out, which so many people were shocked about. I mean, is this what they call me?
They call him the Wizard.
And now we are on the cusp. Oh, look at that. With the Grogu. I think we're getting this really quick, fast. Really quick, fast. And I mentioned that with the when the Clone Wars Ahsoka just, got released here some months ago, that this was going to be coming. And it's already due out September, October. God, she looks incredible. This is Rosario. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this figure. Look at that. And you have to wonder, is it possible that this will be one of the greatest head sculpts once the final production photos are out and we all get to see first MRC Collection Ventures? A shout out to Regan there, because I always love looking for his review so I can see what these look like. I think it's going to be one of the most epic head sculpts in Hot Toys history. Rolling eyes function, Rosario Dawson. God, look at that. And I tell you right now, wow. Wow. Articulated Grogu. How many people are getting that Grogu that they announced, that they officially released? Well, look at this. I can't wait. Look at this outfit. I mean, come on, baby. Look at the sabers. Look at the tailoring. God. I'm just as excited for this as the Bo Katan. I'm probably more excited about this, but I'm excited for both. I need them both. I can't do without them. But I'll be honest with you. There's a DX, and I want her. I want this bad. I want this bad. How many are you jiving for this? God. This head sculpt's going to be insane. Absolutely insane. 98 here. Let's smash the like button. You're on the last segment, watching the market show live here with the Dark Jedi. Do appreciate your support if you hit it. Let's go to your comments to talk about this. We got to talk about it. It's coming out September, October is what it says. It's already August 14th. 808 says, you see her Padawan beads. I see a whole lot of love for this figure. Whole lot of love. Sean Swift, they want to drop her when the show hits season 3. I think I have a couple of theories on this, Sean. You're going to get this now, and you're going to get probably an Ahsoka from the Mandalorian season 3, and you probably get Ahsoka from the Ahsoka series when it's over. You're going to have a few of her up. I have a funny feeling she's going to have a few different looks, baby. 808, hell yeah. Insane one goes, let's get collecting, sir. Wizard. I thought I saw popcorn in there. Where am I seeing popcorn? I don't know. I must be hungry. Collectors in the house. What's up there, brother? Good to have you in here. Come on. That's the version I'm getting. I cannot wait to get this figure. Here's hoping for an early release. Come on. William Cote's in the house. What's up, buddy? Why is Padme, or where is Padme? Where is Padme? Is she safe? Coming with the second wave, my friend. So, really, when it comes to these, let's make sure we hit that like button. And holy crap, we're almost at 3 hours. So, listen. This has been an epic show. Give you a lot of market stuff. You could to show you the last thing to wrap this up. Let's go to 6scalecantina.com to show about the release schedule, which I could bring right up on over here and see what's left over. So let's go to it real quick. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Remember, 6scalecantina.com. Don't forget to bookmark it. Let's go ahead and take a look. Ooh, I got it all over the place. I got to correct it there, but I could still blow it up to show you. But you can still see it over there. Star Wars first quarter 0. There's no more that were due out in the first quarter because that Grogu accessory set came out. Second quarter was Bo Katan, Echo, Mando, and the Blurrg. Okay, well, we're now past the second quarter. So Bo Katan is late, but they do have in there all the way for her September to December. She could be coming very, very quickly. You got Echo, Mando and the Blurrg. I think they hold off on Echo, and they hold off on Hunter. Hunter is supposed to be due out this third quarter. I think they hold off on Echo and Hunter closer to the Bad Batch. It would be perfect marketing. When the second season comes out later this year, they put both of those out. They make the announcements of Wrecker, Crosshair, and Tech throughout the series, and then you're going to get some surprises when the series is over. Perhaps a Moff Gideon, not a Moff Gideon, a Moff Tarkin is what I'm saying. Perhaps a something else, some other goodies in there. That's where I think they're going to go with that. In the third quarter here, which is September, and then going into October, Rosario. I think that there were Ahsoka Rosario is coming. Obviously the Black Chrome Death Trooper, that should be officially coming out there soon. Boba Fett arena suits already out, so I got to take that off there. I got to update that. Crow Mando in the fourth quarter, Luke DX in the fourth quarter, Boba Throne fourth quarter, Jesse Vaughn swoop bike. Not a whole lot there. Get rid of the Death Trooper, pretty much is going to come up with that soon. You get rid of the that arena suit Boba Fett. Quill and the Blurrg. Anyway, you can go to this and I'll update it. Sorry that Star Wars 16-2022 is out of sync over there. I must have clicked it before going up, but it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm expecting the Ahsoka to be very, very quickly. It would not surprise me if Bo Katan is early, but I do think that the Bo Katan, along with the Luke Skywalker, along with Boba and the Throne, along with the Mandalorian, the chrome-plated Mandalorian, they all tie in together from that awesome finale of The Mandalorian Season 2. And I expect them all to be coming out in some type of succession. However they're going to spread it out, I don't know. But I do think the Ahsoka is coming very, very, very quickly. And I've been saying that since the beginning. On the Blurrg and the Mando and Quill, I could actually see them waiting and postponing those until much closer to The Mandalorian Season 3. As that hype begins to build, there'll be just more of a desire to get more Mandalorian figures. Not that there needs to be any desire. But I could also see the other side of the token where they just get rid of them. If they have the production scheduled and they put those out, and I think those will be in very, very low quantity. For sure. For sure. God, we got 90 in here. Go ahead and smash the like button. And listen, the next Insider show, putting that up over here, is going to be me expanding Heightened Thoughts and expanded analysis on Anakin in general for Hot Toys, the Dark Side Anakin. Fabio will be unboxing and showing his Anakin with the Stapper, showing that figure while I talk about that. But look at this latest what I have up here. If you want to become a Cantina Insider, I did a crazy unboxing live of my Chirrut Imwe. And also, why I feel that what's going on in the primary market for Star Wars Hot Toys is not the end of Grails, but on the contrary, perhaps the beginning of Grails. And you're already seeing that with the Arena Suit Boba Fett. If you go and become a Cantina Insiders, you can go ahead and you can check that out. All you have to do, besides believe, is just go on the website here, check out under Cantina Insider all the cool stuff that you could go ahead and get if you become an insider, or just click on that little join button on the channel. It tells you everything that it comes with. If you think you could benefit from it, I do appreciate your support for sure. As you see here, the latest banner on the show. And that's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. As I could tell some of you thought here that I was going ahead and ending this, hit the like button on the way out. I may be live on Insiders later. I certainly will be this week. Certainly got a lot of content up there. The Luke 40th unboxing, crazy unboxing is coming soon. Don't forget, I got the Boba Fett, the Jango Fett crazy unboxing up there for sure. A lot of content coming out on Insiders. We'll be live tomorrow on the show. We'll have Fabio as a special guest as usual. May have 1 or 2 extras that are going to be with us. Look for that tomorrow. That's all I got, people. This was a lot of fun. Appreciate the support. I love the coffee here. And I'm thirsty. I got to go refill it. Remember, I don't always buy coffee out. 6-scale Cantina bug. But what I do, I buy from 6-scale Cantina. Stay thirsty, my friends.